What's going on, guys? It's a great day to play some poker. Great day to spend your day inside, especially with this fellow over here. We got a very fun lineup. Adrian Peterson, Lil Pump, Fraser K, Jarvis. We're gonna play some fun poker today. Maybe not the most serious poker to be played, but at the very least, it's gonna be a good time. So looking forward to it. I think we're gonna play 20 by 50 or 50 100, and let's get some high stakes poker going. Let's go. Okay, guys, we're playing a 25-50 game, and I'm starting with $10,000. We got some fun faces in this game. Fraser K, Jarvis, our boy Mariano, 3Coin, and the one and only legend Adrian Peterson. And the first thing I must say is that another person at this table is the rapper Lil Pump. He's sitting to my right, and this is literally his first time playing poker. I kid you not. Before the stream started, I had to show him the hand rankings of poker. So you're going to see me try to coach him through some hands and just give him some advice on what to do. He literally has no idea the rules of the game. He needs some assistance. And it's my first time ever trying to teach someone how to play poker in a 25-50 game. So let's get things started as an early position player raises to $200. Another person calls an action on the Lil Pump who doesn't know what he's doing.
Set the tone for the pain that's coming.
Just don't take it off from the table.
Okay. Yeah, I do this. So when you look at them, just try and like do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to call the 125 or do you think just raise?
He asked me what to do, and he has Jack 8 offsuit. I tell him it's a fold, and this kind of puts the entire session into context as we pick up 6-3 of clubs under the gun. I start off with a limp here. Mariano limps. A bunch of players limp to Lil Pump here, and he checks his option. So it's a 7-way limped pot of 9-7 deuce, 2 clubs. I flop a flush draw here, and Lil Pump starts off with a bet of $100. I call, and that's not going to get anyone to fold at all. And we see a pretty cool turn in the 8 of hearts. Double flush draw on the board, and I improve to a straight draw as well. Action checks the Pump again, who bets another $100. I make the call. I don't know if I want to raise with my hand against someone who doesn't know what he's doing, and we're going to be friendly here at least, and we get multiple callers as well. River now is the 10 of spades, improving me to a straight, but not really a great straight. It is the bottom end. Pump once again throws out a bet of $100, and this time I do have to put in the raise with a straight and make it $1,500. Small blind makes the call. Lil Pump is advised to fold and does so, and I actually end up losing to King Jack for a higher straight. He ends up winning a $4,600 pot. Shout out to Jarvis here, who's also relatively new to the game, but hey, these guys are kicking my ass right now in the early goings of this session. And shortly after that, I'm going to need some run good here. I take Lil Pump's chain, and as I add on for another $10,000, hoping to add some run good here. And man, this thing is freaking tight, I must say. It's heavy and tight and worth tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of $1,000s. I actually have no idea how much this chain is, but I'm getting a little red, and the drinks are clearly flowing.
When did you ever think
I'm getting choked
that Lil
out.
Pump
I'm getting turned on.
Wait,
Bricked up.
all right,
Good
I'm about to
chain.
put it in. Wait, no diddy.
In the next hand, Mariano blind raises to $400 under the gun. We got some action here clearly as an early position calls, Randy calls, everyone calls and acts onto me. I get the degen tingles, as clearly Mariano hasn't looked at his card yet, and I want to go all in blind, but anyways, I decide against it. I take a look at King Jack offsuit, and I 3-bet to $800. We're making it really friendly here, trying to teeter between the line of gambling and also making everyone else at the table happy with the situation. So now everyone looks in their cards, and we get multiple callers, of course. Why would anyone fold for an extra $400? And we're going to go 5 ways to a flop of King 4-3, hitting top pair. Action checks to me, and I'm going to throw out a small bet of $800. Probably could have sized up here, but I'm just trying to be as friendly as possible. An action folds to Lil Pump, who ends up making the call. Turn now is the Jack of Diamonds. My opponent checks here, and this time with top 2 pair now, definitely got a bet for value. And I throw out another small bet of $1,000, knowing Lil Pump can have literally any 2 cards under the sun. But top 2 pair in this spot, $1,000 is too much for him to pay. I end up scooping this $7,000 pot against Lil Pump. Honestly, that doesn't seem too fair as I had top 2 pair in a very good hand. But then the very next deal gets fun. 5 players limp to me, and I pick up Ace King. I'm going to put in a raise to $300 here, and we're going to go multi-way to this flop. We get 1 caller, 2 caller, 3, 4, 5 callers. Let's go to a flop 6 ways in Jack High. Definitely not looking great with Ace King. I check, and the under the gun player throws out a bet of $500. Okay. We get a bunch of players to call to me, and I think I've got a pretty good price to draw with my 2 overcards, so let's flick in 500, and we've got a pretty big pot building here. Turn is a king. There we go, hitting top pair. Definitely loving this situation, but action checks all the way through. So definitely expecting my hand to be the best one here. The river comes another king, which is pretty insane. Hitting trips with top pair, going runner trips. Definitely confident with my hand when no one checks over to me here. I bet $1,300. We get Fraser to make the call for $1,300. And action folds the little pump. Guys, I mean, this is indicative of how new he is to poker. He just makes the call. He actually doesn't know what to do with his hand. You can see how strong it is, but he ends up making the call with pocket nines. That's a full house. Definitely thought I had the best hand, but when he shows the full house, he doesn't even realize he won.
I won? Let's fucking go! Yes, Sarskis! My God.
Pump is on fire.
I'm sorry, Brody.
Pump is on fire right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Get it!
Man, that's the beauty of poker, guys. It's truly a funny moment. I mean, I can't do anything but laugh and love the situation. It's really good for poker, and obviously Lil Pump's having a good time as he hits his full house and wins a pretty good pot. All right, we're not running very good here, so I add on for another $20,000, and let's try to spin this up. Unknown player limps in. New player Itsunomi is in for a raise to $200. Another new player, Tough, who we battled with last session, 3 bets to 500. Get a bunch of people to call, and I peel ace king offsuit in the big blind. All right, this is the perfect reason why I added on more money, because when you have a good hand, I get to put in a raise to $3,500. Itsunomi, who originally raised to $200, complains how he just joined and now talks about dusting $10,000 as soon as he sits down at the table. He makes the call. 3 coin calls as well, and we are going to a flop. But before that happens, I announce all in blind.
But I will do
Very different
all in.
cards.
What?
Blind all in from Rampage.
Jarvis.
The opponents don't have too much behind, and the pot is pretty big at this point, almost $10,000. So it's not that big of an all-in, and with ace-king, how bad could it possibly be? Well, the flop comes Jack 7 deuce. That is not the flop I'm looking for, but still have possibilities to hit an ace or king for top pair. Itsunomi actions onto him, and he doesn't really want to put in his entire stack. He asks for help, and I don't know if he's trolling or not, but it seems like he doesn't have that strong of a hand from my perspective.
I know I should do it.
You should.
Yeah, I don't
winning,
trust
which
him.
means
Like,
I'm fucked.
he's bluffing me.
You feeling confident? You feeling good? Okay.
He ends up slowly making the call, and 3 coin makes the call as well. So we've got a 3-way all in. It's a pretty massive pot, over $30,000 into the middle, and I've got ace king in a dream. Turn 7, river, deuce, and the cards are revealed. Oh my goodness, madness ensues as I never would have expected him to have pocket queens. Yes, pocket queens will win, of course. It's such a good hand, and he scoops a $31,000 pot just after sitting down. I torch off another 10K. Because that's what I do at Hustler Casino Live. I show up and I give money to the good people at the table. Very lucky for these people to be at the table with me. If you're new at poker or if you've been playing for a while, just know if you're at the table with me, you're going to win some money. So after this hand, look, I'm going to add on for more money. I brought 100,000 with me, and I'm going to put it all on the table. So I've got about 76,000 in my stack now, clearly down about 25,000. Biggest loser at this game somehow. But here we go. Hijack raises to $100. I decide to 3 bets and put in another raise to $500. Mariano makes the call to my left, and Tough in the small blind 4 bets to $4,000. I've got queens, guys. I've got queens. The cards don't show it yet, but I am fist pumping because I finally added on for more money and I actually pick up a premium. So when action folds back to me onto Tough, we know he can certainly get out of line, certainly can play a large variety of hands. I decided to put in another raise to 8,000. Little min click over to him here, and action folds to Tough, who ends up making the call. So we're going to a flop. with the pot building, it's Jack 8-7 Rainbow. Hitting my overpair, it's a connected board, but hey, I can't be too scared. I throw out a bet of $8,000. Tough snap jams for like his entire stack of $30,000, $40,000. I snap call because it's tough and I have an overpair, and we're randomly going to play a $90,000 pot with one pair. Got pocket queens and a dream, but it looks like I'm in good shape as Tough flips over king queen of spades. Okay, guys, I'm a pretty big favorite to win this, and we're running it 2 times. Tough is looking for a king or a spade for runner flush, and we see a turn which is the 4 of clubs. Okay, things are looking really good in my favor, and the 7 of diamonds is no help for Tough. I scooped the first half of this pot, and the second run out also comes pretty clean, and I end up winning one of the biggest pots of the night by a whole country mile. $90,000 in the middle, and I'm going to scoop this up. So remember how I ended up being the biggest loser at the table? Turns out I ended up finding a way to crawl out of that deep, dark abyss. All it takes was just to add on all the money I brought with me, and here we go. I luckily win this pot. Unlucky for Tough that I actually had a good hand. He's certainly won. Not afraid to battle and get some stacks in there. And luckily for me, I'm up over $20,000 after that massive pot, but we've got plenty more hands to play. Moving forward about an hour later in the session, we've got an undergun player who limps, cutoff raised to $300. Button makes the call. I just had to make the call with pocket 10s in the small blind here. Decided to just play a little more friendly. Then Mariano is unfriendly, 3-betting to $1,800. Undergun makes the call, and of course, I'm not going anywhere. I call for $1,800 as well. We see a flop of King 8-7 Rainbow. Not the best looking flop for me here, but I check to Mariano, who throws out $3,000. The undergun player folds, and look, I know Mariano's very capable of having just a whole lot of garbage here for sure, so got to keep him honest, at least for now. I call for $3,000. The turn comes the 4 of diamonds, and action's going to go check, as he doesn't want to put any more money in here. But the river, ace of spades. Oh, that is such a brutal card to see on this river. I check it to him, expecting him to blast off, and he rightfully does for $10,000. I don't love it. And I think pocket 10s here just has to find a fold. I don't even want to talk myself into making a hero call with a pretty marginal and awful hand. And yeah, when I let my cards go, I get successfully bluffed by Mariano. He has Jack 9. Come on, buddy. You don't have to try to win every single pot, but yeah, folding the winner in a 12K pot never feels great. Then a few minutes later with Queen 9 of diamonds and the big blind with the straddle on, cutoff calls for $100. I raise it up to $700. Mariano makes the call for $700, and we're going to go heads up against our buddy here. And the flop comes 5-9 deuce. With top pair, I decided to check it over to Mariano. It seems like a pretty decent play here on the flop here out of position. Mariano fires out $800, and I definitely have thoughts of check raising here, but for one reason or another, I decided to just slow play my top pair and make the call. The turn comes the Queen of Hearts now, improving me the top 2 pair, which is amazing, but the flush does get there, so have to tread with some caution. I check it over to him, and he fires out $1,600 this time. Definitely don't think check raising now is the right move. There are definitely a lot of hands that I beat, and would be a really tricky situation if I were to check raise. So definitely just going to stick with a call. And the river, 4th heart, which I don't love to see. Hard to win with top 2 pair now without a flush. But action goes check, and oh my goodness, to my surprise, did I love that 3rd heart or what? Mariano wins with his set, and I get saved by the river, as I only lose a $6,000 pot, which could have been way more considering I turned top 2 pair. Lucky to only lose a little bit this one. And we're moving on to one of the last hands of the night with Queen 10 of spades on the small blind. The button raises to $1,000. I'm having none of this button raise here. It's a really large raise, but I 3-bet to $3,500. And we got Dr. Batman. Love having him at the table. He's always good for the game. He makes the call. And the flop comes Jack 10-7, all clubs. Little tricky once again with these monotone flops. With middle pair, I check, and Dr. Batman throws out $3,000. It's a little under half pots. I've got some possibilities with the backdoor straight draw and a pair, so definitely not going to go anywhere just yet. Sticking around for at least another card or two, I make the call. The turn comes the 8 of spades, which does add one of my backdoor possibilities, improving to a straight draw and a pair. Luckily, Batman does not put any more money into the middle, as action goes check. The river is now the 5 of spades. Once again, I don't see any merit to putting money in the middle. Action goes check, check, and I end up beating his ace-king. Very lucky to hold with my pair of 10s in this $13,000 pot. And through all the ups and downs, you'll see the final scorecard here a few minutes after this last hand. I end up winning a nice $15,000 in this session, which is just beautiful because I was buried at 25K, and very nice to bounce back here. All right, wrapping things up, heading back home from a very long session at Hustler. Another very fun stream from teaching LIL Pump how to play poker and the rules of the game, playing with Frazier, Jarvis, and of course, Adrian Peterson. A lot of ups and downs, and I was in the game for $100,000. Ended up cashing out for $113,500, so booked a nice win. Actually, it was $113,550. I don't want to shortchange myself to $50 here, guys. Every little bit counts on this Road to $1 Million challenge, and happy to make some progress. It's been a very long time since I've been able to book multiple wins in a row, and here we go. Onwards and upwards, hopefully. Thanks for watching this video. Happy to close out this year strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.